Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, sim racing fans, to another round of the IRPAS GT3 iRacing series. Tonight we arrive at the historic Brands Hatch circuit in the United Kingdom. This venue blends fast, flowing corners with tight technical sections. I think we're going to see push even the most talented drivers here tonight. We got some pro, we got some am. Both are going to do battle here tonight at Brands Hatch at the same time on the track. 45-minute sprint here to the checkered flag, but you got to remember, we do have 60% fuel here tonight. Limited fuel. I think we're gonna have to start see a little bit of strategy here played within one of my least favorite tracks. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a reason I traded the steering wheel up here for the microphone, at least this week here up in the booth. I appreciate you, every single one of you joining in here tonight. Stam Studio Network. My name is Sean Stam, and I think, real quick, before we start race coverage here tonight, the first subscriber here has been the most important, as well as, I think they're just as important as the 740th subscriber. We are on the road to 1K here at SSN. Be sure you like the video here tonight, subscribe, tell your neighbors, tell your grandma, as well as we got some shirts, koozies, we got some merch here just headed your way in a few moments' time. We also have some racing headed your way in a few moments' time, taking a look at the starting grid here tonight. Well, excuse me, the race information here tonight. 2.4 mile track. If my math is mathin', that is, let's see here, 3.9 kilometers. We got 9 turns to work with, 13x, only 13 incidents until a driver is forced to take a drive-through penalty. That'll be something that we definitely have to keep some eyeballs on. The track map may make it look easy, but I tried to tell you there in our pre-race show, it is tight, technical corners there, especially going into turn number 1. Speaking of turn number 1, we have an orange flag condition here. Well, we always have in the IRPAS League, especially here. We're going to need it at Brands Hatch. We're just going to try to keep this front of the pack a little bit safe, a little bit more cordial. We're going to try to keep the field in control here. Narrow racing lines, unforgiving gravel traps. The opening lap here, it can definitely make or break the driver's night. Expect elbows out here in the IRPAS GT3 Racing Series as we'll take a look at the starting grid here tonight, brought to you by Stam Studio Network. How about it? Andy White, very fast in practice. You gotta slap it up there on the pole. Of course, pro driver out up front. 122.8 for Mr. White. How about Tim Reed, though? Another pro driver, Clark St. James Motorsports, gonna, look at that. Sweep out the front row, Reed and White, 1 and 2. Looks like Lucas, he's out here, gonna do some battle out with us. Not going to be the same for the rest of the season. I'll get into that in a few moments' time. But Lucas, glad you can make it out here and start third here tonight. Oliver Jansen there at Effendi Racing starts 4th. Tyler Reed will lead the AM category to the checkered flag here tonight. Got Samuel Cruz, Tom Duran, Sam Bentley, John Jennings, Brandon Mateo, Mauricio Marquez Ramos, Miguel Villata, as well as Dan Fendick, rounding out the 14 driver field here tonight. That's Lee West down there in the rear of the field. Looks like Lee West is going to start there within the pits, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Matter of fact, if Lee West is even able to make it to the start here tonight, before we get some green flag racing though happening here. Once again, I thank you all for joining in here. My name is Sean Stan, Stan Studio Network. We're going to take a look at something a little bit more specific here. Take a look at some points before we get the green flag. We're going to start with the pro because, of course, pro slapped it out there on pole position. Tim Reed, Tim, the man tall and thin, leading us in pro standings. John Jennings, though, right there behind him, only 10 points behind. Alexander Kjahler, Andy White, Lucas Haller, Oliver Jansen, Harry Price, Samuel Cruz, Gene Kelly, Sam Bentley, Michael Zugmont, rounding up at that top 10 in the pro standings. Looking at AM real quick before we get the green flag, Jeremy Jukic, Tyler Reed, Mauricio Marquez Ramos, Matthew Sherwood, Mark Bray. Hey, how about Dan Fendick? He's up there in the top 6 in points. Marco Gelli, Nicholas Meyer, Jed Cotterman, and Gene McClellan rounding out the top 10 in AM standings. Alrighty, there you see, that's iRacing trying to do everything it can to present the ever so elevation hungry here track that Brands Hatch is. Andy White, Tim Reed, Tim, two teammates here that are going to start on the front row. That's what I'm going to have to keep my eyeballs on here. Let me know what you guys are going to have to watch here. We got Michael, we got Terry down here live in YouTube lands. Let us know who we're going to have to watch as well as what we're going to have to watch when this race starts. Once again, the orange flag condition there into turns 1 and 2. But then after that, it's all elbows out here for this Pro-Am racing series. What does that I stand for again there, folks? That's right, international. We have all sorts of nationalities represented here tonight. Matter of fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 different nationalities represented within a 14-driver field. We are side by side up here in the front row. Andy White, Tim Reed, that iRacing safety pace car, gonna dive into the safety of pit lane. I don't blame him. We have waited a week for it here, boys and girls. Get up, stand up for your life. We are green flag racing here in IRPAS series. Expect this start to be a little closer here as we head down the hill, side by side up here for second place. Now we can start to get the elbows out once again. Lucas Haller, he's gonna try the outside line. Back possibly, no, thinks better of it. Andy White gets away from Tim Reed early on. Oh, we got a driver going off track. It looks like that's his Mauricio Marquez Ramos, who is early on off of the racing circuit. Back up here to the race lead. Andy White continuing to pull away with it. This is something new that we've seen within the IRPAS series, as well as Tim Reed being in second place. He's the leader within our point standings for the pro class, but don't look now. Here comes Oliver Jansen. Samuel Cruz already gaining a spot early on at the start of this race. Oh no, Lucas Haller, no! Lucas goes wide. He's able to slot right back in. Loses the spot doing so. Sam Bentley starts to reel in Tom Duran here after the drop of this green flag. Brands Hatch definitely have to let these tire pressures get up to optimal conditions here early on. Let's take a look at that lap there, the track map there in the bottom right of the screen. Look at that. Andy White already starting to pull away with the race lead, only completing 1 lap down so far. But battle for AM continues to heat up. We're looking at it here. Tyler Reed, Tom Duran, battle for 6th, 7th overall. Starting to go nose to tail here for, once again, battle for AM. If I do remember correctly, Tyler Reed, he didn't only just have an immaculate run just a week ago there from Laguna Seca in the AM class. Tyler Reed came away with the race win. Right now, he's trying to look for a double race sweep as he continues to hold off the hard-charging Tom Duran. I don't think Tom made it out to Laguna last week, so we'll have to see the pace that Tom was able to have. Hopping on board with Tom Duran now here. He sits where he started this race. There's really been no battles here, no changes for position, except, gotta look at Miguel here. Miguel started P12. He's already gained 2 spots. Driver change pass over John Jennings here, Australian driver. He's got his windscreen full of Elise Miguel up there in front of him. Battle versus Pro here, starting to heat up earlier on from Brands Hatch Circuit. How about Lucas Haller? Let's take a look and see what happened to Lucas Haller again. He ran just a little too wide there in the number 1 machine. I believe he loses 3rd and 4th place doing so. Was it the Lazy? Yep. One shot of Jason Robaru. Doesn't look like Samuel Cruz was able to make the pass from the DWT light pink machine. Samuel Cruz is now pounding Lucas Haller's rear bumper. Oh, we got one around. Oh, he is around. Miguel, they're out of the Dominican Republic. Fendi Racing driver, number 23, down out to the round. No damage for that machine. 2 quick repairs, not instant repairs. 2 quick repairs here tonight. So if there was damage, Miguel will have to wait until the pit stop here, which will be about halfway. I don't think there is damage though. Here's what happens to Miguel. Oh, tried to take a little bit too much of a bite out of those sausage curves there. You're definitely going to want mustard on those sausage curves, Miguel. Down, out, and around. That'll send you. Here's one more look at it here. All it takes here. I try to iRacing. It's not just a game, it's a simulator. We have laser scan tracks. We have physics that just cannot be beaten. Speaking of physics that cannot be beaten here, 2 Clark St. James Motorsports drivers, 2 AMGs continue to lead the pack. Oliver Jansen, driver number 20 there at a 50. But we also have Brandon Mateo out here. Driver of the triple category. There's only 2 GT3s out here. Because this is by far here before the revamp of the GT3 series. And the iRacing might be asking, what are you talking about? Well, at the start of this season, the GT3 car, it was pretty much completely revamped aerodynamically, slipstream-wise, as well as the tires here. Tires were the biggest change. I really applaud Dan Phillips for what he has done here with the IRPAS Racing Series, because although he sits here at P12 here tonight, he has set up a damn good league. Drivers that really cannot show even better racing than they show there out on track there. There's so much racetrack here that cannot be beaten within the IRPAS Racing Series. And then I also applaud that orange flag. Black one of those. It really allowed all these drivers to stay right up here. About 114 here. Looks like it's only 13 to be left. We got Miguel saying, I got you there. I'll bump up the old let me know if that is better for you there. Sorry, the GT3 engines are a little loud here tonight. Sam Bentley, though, driver at the 37 McLaren. The McLaren is the most amount of GT3s that we hear out here on track. Sam Bentley is leading these McLarens as he sits. That's 5th in the pro category. Michael, let me know if that's A-okay there, man. I'm adjusting the audio levels here. Apologies, that took me just 6.5 minutes in this race to do. But let me know if the levels are A-okay now. Man, I'm an octopus here. I'm doing 20 things up out here once. Directing, commentating, producing as well. Looks like, all right, I'm gonna bump these cars all the way down and just let me know when the voices there are back to where they should be. Oliver Jansen here, our fastest running Porsche here tonight, runs in the 3rd running position. Lucas Haller still lost that spot from the start of the race, but driver number 1 sits P4, Samuel Cruz P5. levels should be back to where they should be now. There we go. All right. Goodness gracious. These GT3s in just throwing me for a loop here. We'll keep things moving and grooving. I'll keep an eye on the YouTube chat. Andy White continuing to pull away with a 3-second lead over Tim Reed. You got Oliver Jansen there, driver in the third running position, 20, continuing to run in that third position, Lucas Holler, driver number 1, sits P4, Samuel Cruz, but don't look now, driver Tyler Reed, another Mercedes AMG, number 47, 6P6 overall, leading in the AM category. All right, while I try to figure this out here, apologies here. I'm sweating up here trying to figure it out. Take or crank it up here in the booth. I'll be right back with you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series.
Alrighty, welcome back here to Stam Studio Network. You can go and crank this puppy down. Audio levels should be figured out here. Goodness gracious. There's no excuse here. Apologies. I'll get right back to racing action to throw this back behind us. Andy White continues to lead in the GT3 class, the pro category that is. Tim Reed, Oliver Jansen, Lucas Holler, Samuel Cruz rounding out the top 5. Samuel Cruz, once again, a driver we have to shout out and really mention here tonight. Driver BWT. Samuel Cruz finished, I believe, in the within the top 6 there a week ago there at Laguna Seca. Samuel Cruz sits P5, Tyler Reed P6, Tom Duran right behind these drivers sitting in 6th and 7th. Sam Bentley right there behind Tom Duran, John Jennings, Mauricio Marquez Ramos there in the 10th position, Brandon Mateo, Dan Fendick, Miguel, as well as, well, no Lee West here tonight, unfortunately. Thanks for sticking with these audio issues. I try to tell my buddies here, let me know if audio sounds just A-okay, and well, I was hearing A-okay until, well, the real race fans came here live in YouTube chat to save me, so thank you, Michael W., as well as everybody else, but I'm going to put this hair back behind me once again, because just say sorry and get back to racing action. Oliver Jansen, Lucas Holler, Samuel Cruz. We've got a little bit of a blanket between these top 3 right now. As we make our way through the forest, the foliage-heavy Brands Hatch Raceway, Samuel Cruz is continuing to try to hold off Tyler Reed here. Oh, excuse me, that's Lucas Holler who continues to try and hold off Tyler Reed as Oliver Jansen has his final driver interview spot in jeopardy here tonight. Josh, man, I told you there, look at the old comments of the vertical stream as, oh, Lucas is going to try and look down the inside. Yes, nothing wrong with your YouTube here. It's just, If you join us there in the vertical stream, make sure you join us here in the long ways stream. Don't want to miss any of this racing action here. Lucas Haller able to muscle his way down the inside of Oliver Jansen, driver who will not be with the Ofindi Racing for too much longer here. Lucas trying to put it all out here on track, passing Oliver Jansen for the final driver interview spot in the top 3 order there. Samuel Cruz right there holding on to this top 6 spot, top 5 spots within the pro class. Tyler Reed, he's not really within the draft and slipstream range just yet here, but we do have Tom Duran, Sam Bentley, as well as John Jennings there, just separated by about a second and a half apart. Gonna hop on board here with, oh man, or are we? Oliver Jansen's gonna run wide. That's gonna present Samuel Cruz as the best 4P4 there. Gotta remember, with this revamp of the GT3 tire model, it's, you burn these puppies up and they're just completely done. I know that we're racing with pretty optimal racing conditions here tonight, but unfortunately, Oliver Jansen looks like he could have possibly pushed his right front and left front a little bit too earlier on within this long 45-minute race. We're only about 14, 15 minutes down. 30 minutes left to go here. I'm going to treat you guys one more, crank it up here as I try to get these audio levels just about exactly right for you. Alrighty, you can slowly crank this puppy back down. Andy White continues to run away with it, now a 5.5 second lead. But that battle we were keeping an eye on there in the static cameras. Man, Lucas Haller, he continues to sit speed 3 after forcing his way ever so cleanly past Oliver Jansen, also passing Samuel Cruz while doing so. But this battle here for third, fourth, and fifth, you can still throw a blanket over here within the pro category here, as we'll see them stretch their legs down the little short chute across the start-finish line there. Now this is a task that it looks quite frankly easy, but well within here behind the wheel. Lucas Haller, who's trying to hold off a hard charging Samuel Cruz. I think Samuel Cruz is a shark that smells blood in the water right now. This Lamborghini, the only Lamborghini GT3 out here on track. We've seen his pace, biggest mover, gaining 2 spots since the drop of the green flag here tonight, well within striking distance of Lucas Haller's rear bumper here. 17 minutes down, 38 seconds. Well, 17, yeah, there you go, 17:38, there you go. We're going to continue to battle up here for third and fourth. Lucas Haller, he's going to play a little bit more defensive line. There's, once again, Samuel Cruz retains within striking distance. Only about a car length and a half separating this Ferrari GT3 as well as the Lamborghini here. Lucas really not able to run away just yet. You see the gravel and grass rooster tail at the rear end of these machines. It's really our closest battle out here on track, only 3/10 back to it. Oh, it's going to close back down to 2.5 here into the double apex. Turn 1 and turns 2 here. Samuel Cruz is going to try and carry a little bit more speed, a little bit more momentum here. He'll try the inside line there. Doesn't have it quite for Lucas Haller. If these two drivers start to battle in here just a little bit too bit, don't quote out Oliver Jansen here, who's right there behind him. The second only GT3 running Porsche here tonight. Brandon Mateo there runs in the only other Porsche in that 11th spot, but that's third place for AM category. Real quick checking back out on AM battle for the race lead. Tyler Reed continues to run away from Tim Durand right now. It's 3.4 second gap separating 6th and 7th. Do something special here since you guys have stuck with me through all of tonight. Go ahead and check this one out. I got one for you. The old driver cam, Tim Reed. Real life driver cam left side, virtual cam right side. And look at Tim Reed. We'll do a little comparison here. All right, well, down the straightaway, that's pretty easy to keep track of here. But Tim Reed, he's going to get up there. Oh, fourth, third, drop down to no, he'll keep it in third. Keep the momentum rolling down the hill here. Tries not to get too many incident points early on. Remember, if you're just now joining us, first of all, thank you. Second of all, we do have those 13x incident limits here tonight. Looks like Tim's going to keep it all clean and green out here on the track as he still sits P2, 6.7 seconds behind race leader, 6.1 seconds in front of P3. Oh God, I think you're right there, Josh. Oh no. I'm gonna leave you the race fans. He'll check the YouTube chat for that one. But anyways, Lucas Haller, I don't know. Has Lucas Haller really spent his tires earlier on this race? Because remember, Samuel Cruz, we've seen Samuel continue to close the gap up here to Lucas. We've seen a little tiny battle here between these two start to ensue, but once again, I think Samuel Cruz, he's smarter than this. He knows that if these two, he knows that if him and Lucas start running side by side, well, none other than Oliver Jansen's going to be right there within that battle. And then if you look there within the background, I mean, same camera shot here, race leader in the AM category, AMG, Tyler Reed still sitting up here right there with them. We got a battle right now heating up, brewing up here between Miguel and Mauricio Marquez Ramos, 10th and 11th overall. I believe these are two AM drivers going at it here. That rubber duck racing, Mauricio, we've seen some pretty good pace here between this what are we, 5th season now for the IRPAS Racing Series. There you see it. I was just about to mention it. When are we going to start to see the strategy calls? We're almost halfway within this race. Mauricio makes a late dive into pit lane. He'll leave Brandon Mateo out there to dry. As I don't really hate this call here. Mauricio, ooh, I do hate the call of leaving tires checked, but I don't hate the call of, oh, that was a quick little stop. Invisible air jacks here for Mauricio. Looks like he will, come on, get it going. There you go. We'll have to see what drivers tend to take tires compared to just fuel here. I think that was possibly just a 2-tire stop. We'll see where things cycle out here. Back up here to the battle for P3. Looks like Samuel Cruz able to get around that hard-charging Lucas Haller. Man, oh man, Samuel Cruz to the final driver interview spot. Here's a quick replay and see how it was done. Man, Lucas, after just trying to play a little too much defense, there was definitely contact there. We'll have to take another angle at it. We'll trade some paint. It's okay. That's only the battle for up here and the battle for the P3 spots. Here's one more look. Right as we get around the tree, Lucas tried to come back down the inside. Samuel Cruz says, hang on now there, buddy. I am here. Thank you very much. Driver 25 up to P3. Lucas Hollers now is going to have to try and play some World Cup-esque defense over Oliver Jansen, who Oliver, driver there, out of the only Fendi Racing. Oliver's had some pretty nice pace, but we had possibly seen this driver burn his Michelin Racing tires up too early tonight. Same camera shot, 2.5 seconds back now. Here comes Tyler Reed. AM driver trying to run away from Tom Duran now. He's got a 4-second gap to do so. If my timings and scorings aren't lying to me here, I'm showing Miguel also into the pit. So far, only AM drivers to make their way into pit lane. No competition cautions here tonight, but with a 7.1 second gap for Andy Reid, I would say we're pretty much watching, it's not the battle for the lead, but battle for the century here tonight for P3. That final driver interview spot in the pro category. Samuel Cruz, after a little contact there, he works his way up there to P3. Not going to opt to pit for fuel this time by. Neither does Lucas Holler. We're continuing to see not only the tire management, but as well as I think a little bit of fuel management for this pro category. Little early lifts here. It'll both not only help you make it to the end of the race on fuel, your fuel mark, but it will also save a little bit of those Michelin GT3 tires. Here comes Tyler Reed. This was the driver in the lead of the AM category, makes his way down into the pit lane. He's going to bump this AMG full of fuel. Should have no new tires on it, as you did not see the invisible air jacks go up on that car. The only other Porsche here tonight for BM Trackside, Brandon Mateo, 111 machine, also into pit lane. Clark St. James. They were looking for the 1-2 finish here tonight, but unfortunately, man, it's going to be, let's say that. No, okay. I had a little bit of team mix up there. I apologize. Goodness, I'm all over the place here tonight. Anyways, Tim Reed, and, well, okay, he's fixed that problem. Tim Reed and Andy White, two Clark St. James Motorsport drivers. They are looking for the 1-2 finish here tonight from Brands Hatch. Only 20 minutes left to go within this race. When do they pit, though? We have still only seen AM drivers pit. I wonder if there's a reason behind that. I think it goes to, once again, management. Not only tires, but as well as fuel. Eduardo Vicino down here live in YouTube chat saying, who's going to get the P3? Oh, unfortunately, that's going to take Lucas Holler. That was my pick right out of competition, Call that the Sean and Tater curse, man, for Lucas Holler. You saw that thing snap down, out, and around. Lucas Holler out of Brands Hatch. God, this is once again the newer tire model within the GT3 racing class, and look at the whole rear clip there. Rear diffuser attached, man, rear wing attached and all. That goes for a little bit of a jumpy play time there. Lucas, we'll hop on board here, see what the driver was fighting, trying to reel in Samuel. Overcorrection gone wrong, hard into the outside tire barrier. I thought we'd be able to see that. There you see it, that rear end clip, just jumping for joy there. That is finally free from heading upwards of 150, 160 miles an hour from this elevation-hungry Brands Hatch. Oliver Jansen here. This is our first pro driver into the pit lane. I was waiting for this for the whole race here. 9 minutes left in the race. Finally, we see one of our pro drivers Tom Duran. He's going to cycle out to the race lead in the AM category, but he still has to make that pit stop. Have to see if Oliver Jansen was up on the invisible air jacks there. Eduardo, man, we got a real quick shout out Eduardo here tonight. You have done so many paint schemes for us here within the Fendi Racing universe. I'm looking for, no, not the Nicolas Cage. No, not Operation Motorsport. Okay. Anyways, you've done so many paint schemes for us within the Fendi Racing career here, and there you see one of the IRPAS Designs GT3s. This time it's on a McLaren. John Jennings, he works his way up to P5 down the outside of Tom Durand here. I believe both these drivers will still have to make their pit stop strategy. IRPAS, I'm not sure if you're still putting paints here together along the behind the scenes, but if you are, man, be sure you know Eduardo Vecino up. He's got the best iRacing paint schemes available there, and look at it. I mean, it's just artwork here, going upwards of 150, 160 mph. Eduardo, I'm not sure if you're just now joining us, but I think we still have Michael W with us. Let me know if the old audio levels are back to where they should be. If I need to be a little bit quieter, if I need a little bit louder here, as we're gonna have top 3 runners as well as AM category race leader all into the pits at the same time. Andy White's gonna lead them off though. Here comes Tim Reed, Samuel Cruz, Tom Durand, all into the pits at the same time. Now, I find this very interesting. I don't know if it's just I've been that long since I've been within the sim racing universe here, but I was never one to opt for taking tires, at least within the GT3 race here. 45-minute race, these drivers splitting it a little longer than halfway. Once again, if you see a driver on the invisible air jacks, that means that they are taking tires unless, I mean, I don't know. Even if it's the same time as a fuel stop here, you have to worry about reheating these temperatures up to optimal temps, as well as putting the pressures back up to optimal conditions, you could call it. We'll have to see how this strategy works here for not Sam Bentley. Where was he here? Andy White, Tim Reed. Samuel Cruz here. That's another driver, I believe, that went up on the invisible air jacks. Samuel works his way up to P4. Again, 2 spots gained since the drop of the green flag. But right now, I have my eye on John Jennings. 60% fuel within these GT3 cars. I don't think he's going to be able to stretch it. Here we go, right on cue. Sean and Tater. Sean and Tater information, we'll call it here tonight. Not quite the curse. John Jennings down and into pit lane. Michael, oh boy. Okay, I'm wiping the sweat off my forehead, man. Thank you so much here. Anyways, Eduardo Vecino, thank you for the shout out. Man, of course, man. Eduardo, shout out for all that you do here behind the scenes for the Fendi Racing universe. I don't know if you want to bring SSN back for this newer IRPAS Racing League, but if you're liking what you were seeing, and you might not like what you were hearing earlier on in the race, but we're going to have a newer, kind of Australian-focused IRPAS GT3 League, I do believe it will be. John Jennings kind of the head of that boat there, and if you want to bring me back here for some more broadcasting action, I promise I'll have it all squared and away by then, but be sure don't donate to me, well, donate to the old IRPAS Racing League there out of Fendi Motorsports, and if you're looking for some more broadcasting action for that Australian League, and man, Tim Reed, I gotta say I think, not I know, but I think we're running fixed setups here tonight, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but that diffuser there coming off of the bends 2 corners ago, making contact with the racing surface. We saw a little bit of sparks fly out of the Tim Reed machine. We're seeing sparks fly out of Andy White's brain here tonight, though. My goodness, 12.2 second gap this time by 14 minutes left to go in the race. Now, something I'm just realizing as well, I mean, we've seen Tyler Reed here. Tyler, he's continuing to lead in the AM category after Tom Durand had to make his pit stop. Tyler Reed, he's opted, I think, for the 2nd week in a row not to go with that. Oh, there you can see that diffuser going to work, probably getting grounded to dear life there after making some contact with the rumble strips. Sparks flying here at the rear end of Tyler Reed's machine, but I bring this up here. Ooh, got to be careful running wide. That's not only an off track, but we saw Lucas Haller get off the racetrack there and down and into the pit lane he will go. But anyways, back to the Ford Mustang chat here. One of my favorite GT3 machines to watch within the iRacing universe. Tyler Reed, 2nd week in a row, not opting for it. He'll go with the AMG. And I wonder if the AMG is what the kids call today these days. I think the Meta, if I'm saying that right. newer updates come out within a simulator or game or whatever it might be, and well, we start to see two Mercedes AMGs run not side by side, but run first and second here, leading within the pro category, and well as well leading within the AM category. I'm not trying to discount these drivers and their abilities here, but it's just something that I'm keeping a note of here. No Mustangs, the only AMGs on track are leading their classes. Here we go, coming up on some lap traffic here. I believe there's so many. You got to bear with me. There are so many Fendi Racing paint schemes. Yeah, this one's going to be Miguel out there in the Dominican Republic. One of, if I counted right earlier, I believe 9 different nations represented within the International Racing Pro-Am Series. Miguel, he's trying to hold off Lucas. Lucas is back here, trying to just make his way up through the pack there. That is Sam Bentley there, the BWT machine of Samuel Cruz. God, there's 2 Sams here. I am all over the place. What is going on here? And the SSN broadcasting trailer here. Samuel Cruz, the BWT hot pink machine. He's going to work his way down and around the lap traffic of Miguel up to that final driver interview spot after passing Oliver Jansen. About to call that 6-7 laps ago. Oliver, man, he started P4, he worked his way up to P2 earlier on in the race and then dropped back again to P4. Eduardo, no, come on, man, I appreciate that. That is what really keeps me going here from behind the scenes, man. Eduardo saying the best broadcasting service here for the iRacing universe. And hey, a little bit of a surprise here. It's not just iRacing here. Within a few months' time, I'll be heading up to the Apex Motor Club, not the Sim Racing League, but the real life racing league up in Arizona, putting on a broadcast for those very, very nice guys and gals. As well as if you have a Race On subscription, if dirt track is your racing, be sure you hit up old Cotton Bowl Speedway. You can see some of my drone footage go to work live on their broadcast. Once again, that's Race On, as well as, hey, you're already here, Stam Studio Network. I appreciate every single one of you joining in. We're on the road to 1K here. You might notice there's a gear icon if you hover over your screen, top right or bottom right of your screen. You can bump the quality of this broadcast up to 1440p here tonight. You might want to do that relatively quickly because battle's starting to heat up within the final driver interview spot. Samuel Cruz, he has been struggling for grip here within the last couple of laps. Lamborghini doesn't quite have the pace that he had to start this race. As I mentioned that, though, Oliver Jansen, grass rooster tailing once again at the rear end of this Porsche machine. Oliver Jansen, he's well within striking distance of the final driver interview spot. Once again, coming up, 9.5 minutes to go left here tonight from Brands Hatch. That's what I mentioned, man. Samuel Cruz, I think this driver has now just roasted his tires to the bone. Oliver Jansen, he's let him cool back off. These Michelin tires looking like they have a little bit last sort of breath of life here within them. Samuel Cruz gonna run that outside lines as Oliver Jansen tries to make the switch back. Oh, excuse me, that's Oliver. Yep, there you see it. Tries to reel in these 2 drivers, Tim Reed as well as Samuel Cruz here, continuing to fight for their right to party from Brands Hatch. Samuel Cruz, does he have what it takes, or will it be Oliver Jansen, that fast-running Porsche? If we take a look at the last lap time history, even between Samuel Cruz and Oliver Jansen, oh, look at it here, lap traffic down and out of the way, lap time history, it's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of cat and mouse. Lap 22, lap 23. Cruz was faster, but Jansen, 21, 24, and 25, just ever so quite faster. Look at 25. That's what made up the whole difference there. As we'll take a quick replay and see what happened to Samuel Cruz and why Oliver Jansen was able to reel him in by 4.4 seconds in 1 lap. Oh no, Fendi Racing Machine. Dan Fendick makes a little contact there, and no, that's not on my end. Samuel Cruz is going to blink out after that contact there. I don't think this is that you can put this on Dan, because look at the strobe effect of Samuel Cruz. That was not once, that was not twice, that was probably thrice here. Dan, he gives the inside line, but look. Okay, well, there's the contact, and then, well, there you see the cameraman have a fit because he doesn't know where Samuel Cruz is, and I don't think Dan did either. There you see it. Wait for him, wait for him, wait for him. Yep, there's a blink and a half, and that's not anything, once again, on my end, like audio was earlier. That is either Samuel, he is either having internet struggles or hardware struggles when you start to see a driver start to disco ball like that. I'm gonna quote that on internet struggles here tonight for Samuel, because that's really been the only time tonight that we have seen a little bit of disco ball action there for the Cruz machine. Samuel Cruz is going to cruise his way on up to P3. Tim Reed, Tim, the man tall and thin, up to P2. We'll go for the final time here tonight. Tim Reed, second place. Live driver cam, left side. All right, coming just to 7 minutes left to go from this very, so far, I think, very clean race. Sure, we've had a little bit of beat, a little bit of banging, but right now, Samuel Cruz, he muscles his way up to P3. Oliver Jansen, Tyler Reed there, 3.9, call it 4 seconds behind Oliver Jansen, but Tyler Reed special here because he is the winner, excuse me, not winner, he is the leader in AM category right now. John Jennings, after not really having the race start that he was looking for, John works his way back up to P6, and Sam Bentley there after my little bit of a confusion earlier on in the race between Samuel Cruz and Samuel Bentley. Samuel Bentley, he gains 1 spot since the drop of the green flag tonight. I think this is the Nicolas Cage machine, number 37, McLaren driver. 6P7, that would be, I believe, 6th in pro class. Tom Duran here, after leading 2 to 3 laps earlier on in the AM category, had to make his pit stop, slap that puppy up with race fuel. I don't think he did take any tires, but I do bring up the old tire pit stop strategy one more time here tonight, because if we look at Andy White once again, let's see here. This is the pit stop time, differentiating our 1 through 8 drivers right there. Andy White there, you saw he pit on lap 20. Well, our top 3 drivers pit on lap 20. Oliver Jansen pit on lap 19. But look at the tiny little numbers there. That is a 37.1 second stop. So Andy White's got a little bit more fuel within that fuel tank there, or just his stop was that much more longer. This is what it all boils down to if the gaps were a little bit closer here, and as well as not only gaps, but I am looking to see who possibly didn't take tires and see who did take tires here. Looks like all of these drivers within the top 8 not opting to do so within a 37-second stop. I think that's only fuel stop there, as here comes John Jennings right on Tyler Reed's rear bumper. This is a battle not only within the pro category here, as John tries to work his way through this AM traffic. Looks like Miguel will slot right into the inside line. Give these drivers both the right of way here, as Tyler Reed tries to hold off. Shark that smells blood in the water right here. Driver from Land Down Under, John Jennings, driver number 17, up to P6, 3 spots gained. There's a little bit of slipstream, a little bit of draft to work with here from Brands Hatch, but you best believe you have to get these corner entries and corner exits just right. You can't go just a little wide there, as you're going to see Tyler Reed's going to do. That is all it takes. Brands Hatch, so tight, so technical there. Oh no, is that Miguel around right in front of cameraman? Oh, once again, 23 machine just fighting for grip here tonight. Happened right in front of the cameraman. We'll take a quick replay of it here as we start to approach the white and checkered flags here tonight. Miguel, you're going to take a little bit more bite of that sausage curve. Looks like this one will be self-induced as we head our way. No, this time it'll be the grass. Right sides on the grass. 23 out and around. Oh no, if you're a Samuel Cruz fan, once again Samuel off of the track, and I think, don't quote me on it here, but these off tracks there in the top left of your screen, they should be synced up to what we are seeing within the real battles here on track. And you have to remember, a 13X is a drive-through penalty. So if you're Oliver Jansen here, if you're Samuel Cruz, you only have 3 and 2 incidents left to spend until a penalty here tonight from Brandon Hatch. You want to try and keep all 4 of these tires on the racing surface here, coming to our 3 minutes to go. If my math is mathing, that should be about 2 laps to go. It'll just all depend on when Andy White makes his way down and across the start-finish line. John Jennings works his way back up to overall P5 as well as Pro P5. Tyler Reed continuing to run away with lead for AM category. We got D-Ghost, welcome in, Chief, and he's saying throw me in. D-Ghost, come on, get in there. Get there behind the wheel of this old iRacing IRPAS GT3 series. We got some pros, we got some AMs, we got some Stams up here in the booth, and I appreciate you all joining in here tonight. Michael W. still here hanging out with us. Jeremy Jukic saying, he's in the old hospital Wi-Fi. Jeremy, hopefully you're feeling all right there, man. Fast recoveries to you there. Hopefully we're bringing you some racing action here tonight and making you feel just a little bit better. We got Eduardo, we got Terry, we got here with us. Battle for the lead within 3rd and 4th starting to heat up, as well as battle for the lead in YouTube chat. We'll get back to that in a moment here, as Oliver Jansen is our cameraman, has a stroke. And look at the gravel accumulate there. It looks like snow at the rear end of Oliver Jansen machines. No, I promise it's gravel, and you gotta be careful here. If you're a driver who runs through this section, look at this. Oh, it's loose as a goose there. Sam Bentley runs through the gravel, makes it look like no harm, no foul there. But that's once again quite a few things that iRacing universe simulates there. If a driver goes off track, they will bring up that gravel, bring up that grass up on the track behind him. Samuel Cruz here. I'm keeping my eyeball on. Sure, he sits in the final driver interview spot for the pro class, but with one more incident to go for this driver, he could possibly have a drive-through penalty coming to the checkered flag. Tyler Reed, John Jennings, really only battle for overall position here. John muscled his way by, did it cleanly just a lap ago. Tyler Reed continues to hang out there well within striking distance. Closest battle out here on track right now, only 0.5 of a second, separating this McLaren and AMG GT3. As I was going to mention in live YouTube chat, we have Josh leading up there. Looks like Josh is tied up there with Terry. We have a 4-way tie in the YouTube race chat here tonight. Josh, Terry, Jeremy Jukic, and Fire Brandon there. 1, 2, 3, as well as 4 tied up there. We have to see where things boil their way down to within the YouTube land, as well as on the track here tonight. The clock is running out of time. We should be coming to what I believe will be the checkered flag here tonight. Andy White, once again, man, just driver that continues to put qualifying laps down here. 2,500 I rating, road course rating, going strong for this driver. Andy White, he just needs to make it all official here. Tim Reed, he's looking for the Clark St. James Motorsports 1-2 finish here tonight. It'll look like it. It just needs to be official. Here comes Andy White. He goes back-to-back within the IRPAS GT3 series. Congratulations, Andy White. Checkered flag is out here tonight from Brands Hatch. Looks like Tim Reed will bring it down there and officially B2 finish there. Looks like, yeah, that'll be Clark St. James. 1-2 finish for both of these AMG machines. Congratulations, drivers. Can't wait to chat with you both in the driver interview booth here in just a few moments' time. Looks like, Dan, an incident on the last lap. So did Miguel. Here comes Samuel Cruz down and across the start-finish line. BWT, he holds off, having one too many incidents in the final lap of this race. Samuel Cruz finished P3 here tonight. Final driver interview spot within the pro category. I'll bring up race results here in just a few moments' time as they are all official, but I do have something official here for us. How about it? We're looking at the man. We're looking at the myth, looking at the legend right there. That'll be Tyler Reed coming off of the AM category win for Operation Motorsports. And Mercedes AMG sweeping the field here tonight. Bring up race results here. These should all be official. Congratulations once again on Andy White, Tim Reed, as well as Samuel Cruz, top 3 finishers. Congratulations, AM winner Tyler Reed, MP2 Tom Duran, and I think that'll be MP3 belonging to, I believe, Miguel there, if Mauricio and Brandon Mateo are both pro. Nah, I think that P3 will belong to Mauricio for the P3 and AM. Thank you all so much for joining in here tonight. Make sure you stick around for some driver interviews in a couple moments time. That'll be a Clark St. James 1-2 finish here tonight from Brands Hatch. Alrighty, welcome back here, Stam Studio Network, where I am in the podium circle. I got the one, the only man, myth, legend here tonight, Andy Reed, race winner for pro category. Andy, got yourself a copy.
How you doing, buddy?
Andy, I am doing more than well, man. How about it? You'll go back to back within the IRPAS GT3 series. What was going through your mind as you continue to stretch the gap?
I was quite shocked, really. We had good pace on the cold tyres, managed to open quite a decent gap on the opening lap, I believe, and then it just kept extending slowly from there. So it was a bit of a shocker. I expected Tim to be a lot closer to me from the times in practice and qualifying. So yeah.
Well, we had the old the pit stop. Well, I think the pro drivers were able to get about 2, 3, even 4 laps further than AM drivers. What I know that you really didn't have too much to worry with the gap, but were you saving a little bit of fuel out there out up front, or were you just running qualifying lap after qualifying lap?
No, just pushing. Yeah.
Hey, there you go. I like it. That's pretty special, Andy. It's even for you to keep it on track and pretty clean. That for pushing that, what, 45 minutes at a time there, Andy. Before we let you get going, congratulations once again. And who we shouting out for your race win here tonight?
I'm going to shout out to the missus and the kids. I know they're watching the stream right now. Shout out to Dan for another great race, and shout out to you guys. No doubt will be another great broadcast when I watch it back.
The first 10 minutes might not be. I would fast forward past the first 10 minutes because a little bit of audio issues there, but we got it all figured out. Congratulations, Andy White, once again on your race win, and we'll see you in a week's time.
Cheers, buddy.
Tim Reed, how about it? You got yourself a copy P2 driver here tonight.
How you doing, Sean? Thanks for that.
Hey, thank you, Tim, man. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you putting on a show here for the fans here tonight. It looks like it was a lot of fun to watch you try and reel in the all Andy White. What was going through your mind as you tried to hit your apexes, corners, and exits?
Yeah, I had a game plan going into this, which was just qualify well, try and set the fastest lap, or do a 0x race and hit podium. So it was actually a really good race for me. I managed to get the 0x race, so no off tracks. Got the P2, so I'll pick up that extra 20 points, so I'm quite happy with that. Andy was just way too fast. He set that fastest lap, I think lap 5, and that's why I was like, I'm not going to try and push and catch that. I'll just take the 0x.
Yeah, I like the way you think, Tim. You're playing the long game here tonight. Speaking of that, man, you continue to lead up here in the points. The 20 extra points will help here tonight I believe we might even still throw a couple bonus points for having a 0x race here. So, but don't quote me on that. But real quick, before we let you get going, Tim, congrats again on P2. Who we shouting out, man?
I'll shout out to the lads at Clark St James Motorsport, the lads that can't be here. And I've got 2 lads that watch regularly, 2 of my friends, Michael and Josh. So just a shout out to them.
Hey, big shout out, Michael. Big shout out, Josh. They were down there live in all YouTube chatting it up here tonight. Appreciate you, Tim. Congrats on the P2. And hey, we appreciate you there, Michael, Josh, down there live in YouTube land.
Cheers.
Samuel Cruz, how about it? I mistaked him maybe once, maybe twice here, the old Sam Bentley. I think it was just once. Anyways, Mr. Cruz, you're going to cruise your way up here to P3. Got yourself a copy.
Copy, Sean.
All right, that BWT, the one, the only Lamborghini here tonight. You'll finish 3rd place. Walk us through it, man. What was it like trying to hound this GT3 around Brands Hatch?
Oh, it's definitely something. It's a tough track, and shout out to Lucas and Oliver. We were scrapping for a minute there, and then me and Oliver towards the end as well. But yeah, it's definitely a tough track, but I'm glad I was able to hustle around for the podium.
Well, Samuel, I'm not sure if you've been running a different car in the GT3 class than the Lambo, but how does the Lambo stack up to possibly like the McLaren or AMG or a car that you run a little bit more often?
Oh, well, I actually bought the limo not too long ago. The first time I drove it, I was like, wow, this thing handles great. Compared to like the McLaren though, Mustang, some of the other GT3s definitely is not the quickest, especially in a straight line. Even when I have to drive sometimes, I kind of stay in place, but it kind of makes up for it in the handling and the cornering, so I do enjoy it.
Now you're gonna need some cornering, gonna need some handling here tonight at Brands Hatch. Showed us that was so. Congrats on the P3. And Samuel, before we let you go, who was shouting out, man?
And shout out Dan and everybody in Fendi. Shout out you for the broadcast.
Woohoo!
And shout out all the drivers that comes out and makes this what it is, man.
I appreciate you, Samuel. That goes a long way there behind the scenes. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you about a week's time.
Will do.
Alrighty, that'll do it for pro category, but don't go anywhere. We got Tyler Reed, race winner here for the AM category. Tyler Reed, got yourself a copy, man. Uh-oh, do we not? Uh-oh. Okay.
I think he's here, but he's in a different voice chat.
Oh, should I drag him down?
I'm not sure.
No, okay, I'll wait on it. I'll wait a couple moments here as we thank everybody here. I mean, goodness gracious, pro drivers, every single AM drivers, you all put on a show here tonight. Top 3 within up here in the broadcast booth. I appreciate your time here for interviews. I know you're probably sweating after this 45-minute race. I know I sure am. Goodness gracious, thank you all down there live in YouTube land. Apologies for first 10 minutes of that race, but at least we got it all sorted out. Thank you all for joining in YouTube land, and stick with us here, possibly for some AM driver interviews, and if not, well, my name's Sean Stam, Stam Studio Network. We'll be right back with you here, just waiting on a couple AMs.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, welcome back here, Stam Studio Network, where I have caught up with AM driver, AM winner, Tyler Reed. How about it, man? Got yourself a copy?
Yeah, we got a copy.
Alrighty, you gonna bring home the old AM win here tonight. Just a week ago there from Laguna Seca. Also a sweep here. Andy White taking away Pro 2 weeks in a row. You'll do the same down there in AM. What was it like here tonight? Not as technical as Laguna, I hope.
Oh, this track, I don't have a whole lot of experience on it. I did practice it quite a bit last year for another league. But this track's just, I find it to be fun. It's just a lot of sweeping turns. You get a lot of speed. You can carry that speed through a lot of the turns. It's just exciting to lap. So I had a good time. Unfortunately, we didn't have everybody here tonight, but that's okay. Lives happen. So, but glad I was able to bring home the AM win.
Well, that was a lot of fun to watch you, Tyler. Walk us through the original race start. I know that there was the orange flag here that we do see every week within the IRPAS series, but what was the race start from your point of view back there and about, I think, third row back?
I'll be honest, I get tunnel vision. I just try to keep the car in front of me, and the car beside me through a turn or two, and hopefully there's not a mess. I honestly didn't see if there was. I was too focused on what's ahead of me, but it was pretty tight. We went too wide there for a little bit. Luckily, we slowed it down. I think I gave it up. I didn't want to race a pro for his position, so yeah, it's hairy out there at the starts. But I'm glad we had a pretty clean start. At least I hope so. I haven't watched the replay yet.
I was about to say the start was really clean, really cordial there up and through the pack, and I think I'm right there with you, Tyler. Race start, man. Some tunnel vision is definitely coming to my vision there, and he's just trying to keep the car clean. But you're gonna do that here tonight. Congrats on the win in AM category once again. Who we shouting out, man? Who makes it all possible for you?
I'd like to shout out Operation Motorsports. Great organization, trying to represent them well out here. Also like to shout out Fendi Racing, putting on this series. Great group of guys come in here week in, week out and race. Very competitive, very clean, so I appreciate that. And then obviously you guys for the broadcast, Sean. So appreciate everything you guys do every week, and hope to see you next week.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tyler. Congrats once again on going back-to-back in the AM category. A little triple action there in just a week's time. Congrats once again, Tyler. Thank you, everybody, joining in here tonight on Stam Studio Network. If you're just now catching up, man, just go ahead and fast forward it past the old start of fast forward this race 10-15 minutes in, then start watching. Anyways, I appreciate you all. That was my mistake there, first 10 minutes. I thank you all for joining in here. Sean Stam on Stam Studio Network. I'll see you guys next week. Take care, everybody.